Testing these mirrors from a Humvee. They got the switch, got the wire bundle here. Got a little power supply, putting 12 volts out. Let's see. Put it up to 24 volts. Should be just a bit faster. There we go. Alright, in the truck now. Got it mounted up. See, still got it hooked up there. I haven't hooked it up to my little 12 volt box yet. But you can see, put it in the middle. Does nothing. I haven't got the right mirror yet, so I'll wire that one up when I get that. We can see. It's a little different from the camera's point of view to my point of view, but see if I can. That is much better than the original mirrors. And I mean, being able to move your seat around, whatever, if you have to get a new person in, someone else wants to drive it, it's nice to not have to be able to get out and use two people to adjust the mirrors. Not so much for the driver's side, but the passenger side. If you're driving by yourself, or you know, for whatever reason you move the mirror, you have to adjust it, so this is much nicer. These are Rosco bus mirrors. It's a 8912, I believe, and I found the switch, whole switch with the harness with labels, and this even has the wires for the heat, so if you need heated mirrors, you can wire up the heat. And I think it's always on unless you put a switch in there. No relays or anything, so it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to wire it up to my Orion box, the little 24 to 12 volt adapter. Alright, so here's the mirror harness, and on the switch side, you've got these black and white wires coming out, and they're labeled. Hopefully, you got ground and then 12 volt power. And then there's also two black and white wires that come out of here. And I removed those because I don't have the heater. So here's the other two, and those are for heater power. I don't have the heated mirrors, so I don't need those. So this is just where you're going to put your 12 volts. You could probably get away with 24 volts if you want faster mirrors, but I'm going to stick with using my 12 volt box. Here's the other end. Normally this was clipped into here. For the left side, right, if you have the knob on the left, that's going to be your red, or blue, brown, and red, and those are going to correspond exactly with the same color ones on the mirror. And then for your right side, so if you flip your knob over to the right side, you're going to use the yellow, orange, and green. And so I've tested those to see how they align. So I have two mirrors. Both of them have the red, brown, and blue. So I just had to test the pins. I'm not sure if they make a right side mirror and it uses these colors. If so, I'm sure they line up. But if you're using a mirror that only has the red, brown, and blue, for your right side mirror, here's how it's gonna line up. your blue wire is going to go on your mirror, is going to go to your orange wire on your harness. Brown wire is going to go to your green wire on your harness. Your red wire is going to go to your yellow wire on your harness. And that's going to give you your same up, down, left, right controls. And then you'll just want to verify that you mount the mirror correctly. These mirrors are pretty symmetrical. I don't see a difference other than some lettering here that might state, make it look like this is the bottom if you want the letters facing the right way. But from the front, there's no difference. Now this is a convex mirror. My other one that's on there now is a flat mirror. So I'm not sure. I think I'll keep the convex on the passenger side. That way it gives you a better field of view. But you know, I'll test around with doing one of each before I permanently mount them, trying it on both sides. So, all right, thanks. All right, here's the mirror install. Show you, I got a hole drilled down here. Ran the wires. Another hole drilled on the other side. And you can't see it, but there's the wires are in there. You can go to the other side and check that out. All right, here's the passenger side. A bit different because of the angle here. And I have a big gap up here in the roof. So I ran the cable in here, drilled a hole at an angle, covered it with some of that flex tape. And then coming down, got the same thing, a hole drilled in the back here. And I also drilled, because I thought I was seeing things, I drilled a hole in the bottom here, and as soon as I did this, a ton of water poured out. So I don't know if that's a manufacturing thing or what, but this whole tube was filled with water. Must have been all up here. So I just drilled a drainage hole. I was gonna do that anyways, just because I have some openings now and I know it's aluminum, but better safe than sorry. So the passenger side is a convex mirror. So that helps me with, you know, the weird angle looking through the windshield to see the mirror. That helps me get a wider field of view, and I really like it that way. And back on the driver's side, the driver's side already has a hole at the bottom. It's not the lowest point, but it should be fine. It didn't really have as much water in it. And then driver's side's a flat mirror. All right, so the driver's side runs kind of in this, there's a crease where the windshield goes. So I've got those 3 wires wrapped, and then I have the cable stuff. I've got it coming up here through this little box that Mike Vaden at Black Dog made. They glassed it in. So I've got it going up through here with a little bit of chafe protection. And then here's the switch. That was kind of a pain in the ass, just getting the angles right because of how thick this is, and this is probably meant to mount in a thin piece of plastic, but it's in there. It's, you know, tight. I didn't have to screw it in or anything, but it's not coming out. And so we'll move it to the driver's side, and so, and then I got kind of all the wires up here. A little bit of a mess, but I don't put anything up here except my registration, and they'll tuck back in there once I'm done. And here's the cabling for the passenger side. It runs through this whole little console all the way, and the same thing, it comes down, and except that one exits up there. So, and then you can see, go to the passenger side. I screwed up and wired it upside down. That's my fault. Just double check. So here's the passenger side. And here's one thing I did that's gonna vary. So I actually wired it to a 12-volt cigarette plug. My thoughts were, one, I didn't want to get in there and wire something up permanent. I didn't care for the idea. And I don't need access to the mirrors 24/7. You know, they don't need to get changed. I'm currently just using this jump box because I have the truck off and I don't want to keep cycling the glow plugs. So I just wired it up to this, and when I'm done, it stashes up here. And if I do need to use it, I have 12-volt plugs up here when the truck's running. So I can just simply plug it in, adjust the mirrors, and then it's good to go. It's out of the way. It's not really noticeable. So that's all up to you, how you want to do that. If you want to wire it to your box, like I said, it may work on 24 volts. So that's really up to you if you want to risk it, if you want to test it, do whatever. I've tested it on 24 volts. It works. It's a lot faster, the mirror adjustment, but in terms of longevity or how it affects your electrical system in the truck, that's the risk you'll have to take. So it's not something I wanted to do. And like I said, you only really need to adjust your mirrors every once in a while. So hopefully you guys enjoy this and hopefully see some more motorized mirrors. And they're pretty much like stock. I mean, I got a mess in here, but you look at the stock shape mirrors, they're pretty close. You know, they don't look too bad. So I got to paint off these. These are where the brackets were when they were painted. So all right, guys, thanks for watching my little spiel on motorized mirrors. Good luck.